Mr. Chernyshov, thank you very much for taking the time to sit down with us today on TVP World.
Good morning, Don. How you been?
I'm doing good, but I wish we were all doing better here in this country. We came here today to talk with you about the scale of destruction we've seen the areas northwest of the capital here in Kyiv. But where do you think the communities most in need are located? Well, say in our region in the north, something that needs our help right now that we can actually start to do something about, and the Russians aren't there continuing to destroy.
Thank you, Don, for asking that. I believe we have a full-scale devastating war, and many regions are severely suffering from that, especially civilian infrastructure, which is really a cruel thing to witness. If we speak about the Kyiv region, which is one of them, obviously, we have thousands of civilian objects and other critical infrastructure objects that have been either damaged or fully destroyed. We are already in the process to solve those issues in the liberated regions. And if we speak about Kyiv region has been liberated, and we are in a position now to help our citizens to be prepared for the winter time as soon as the winter is coming. And we have many damaged objects of civil infrastructure, especially in electricity, heating segment, and we are now to solve and to fix it.
Okay, now is the government funding reconstruction in these areas, and how fast is that actually proceeding?
Right. Already in April, Ukrainian government have decided to fund 1.2 billion hryvnias for the initial works, and we have funded it from reserve fund of Ukrainian government. This is actually the works that are targeted into the special processes of solving basic things after the war. And we should take care of the demolished building, we should provide electricity, we should provide water supply, and we should start solving the issues of the residents and housing of them, which is of course the main problem. We have focused on 5 liberated regions, which is Zhytomyr, Kyiv region, Chernihiv region, Sumy region, Kharkiv region later on, which is a good sign already, and we're doing a lot, and there are different strategies that we're using, and I'm ready to present them.
Okay, so as far as the funding goes for these projects, I know it must be enormous. Are you receiving international aid for that? Is the government just using the money it has on hand? How does that look?
Of course, Ukraine is expecting our international partners to support Ukrainian budget financially. It is absolutely crucial for this moment. I think we need help to cover this cash gap. At this very moment, we have financed the part of our reserve fund from the Ukrainian budget. And again, it is obvious that in order to go ahead, we would expect international support.
Right. Now, you mentioned before the goal is to, make sure that everybody has a place to live and is warm and secure by the time winter rolls around. But what does that effort look like? How far away are you from accomplishing that goal?
We try to be fast, and we have no other way, because it's our people that are at the moment in some cases have no roof over the head. And we have actually selected 3 models. It's obviously short-term, mid-term, and long-term. Long-term is a stable housing. Basically, it is grounded on either purchasing existing apartments or construction of the new apartments, social class, of course. And the short-term strategy is definitely based on providing everything which is possible right now.
Is that every citizen's duty as a fellow Ukrainian to help other Ukrainians rebuild their destroyed lives, if you will?
I believe yes. It's every Ukrainian's duty. At this very moment, we don't ask them to do it as soon as they do it absolutely voluntarily, which is great. And I think this is the best way to execute your duty, to do it voluntarily, when the government should not explain every citizen that he or she is in a position to help the government. I think that is the best way we can prove the nation is united, the nation is democratic, and the nation is strong.
Right, absolutely. Now, I want to change gears a little bit and talk about European integration. Are you hopeful that that no one's going to stand in the way and that Ukraine's going to get into this fast track into European Union accession?
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure that the European Union would become stronger, stable, more united, more prosperous, and if you say more modern, and again, more secure, once European Union will embrace Ukraine. The first step is providing of the candidate status to our country. And we expect this to happen by the end of June, which is very soon to become. Obviously, we are doing a lot from our side to convince European countries and to explain our position. Definitely, provision of the candidate status will open gates for Ukraine to start preparation for the full-scale membership. It will take years to do that, which is absolutely obvious. Ukraine would need structural reforms to be done, infrastructure to be developed, and many other things. But Ukraine is capable to do that and absolutely in a position to be a part of the European Union, already being a proven member of the European family.
Right. Now, what would you say to some of the countries that are standing in your way and saying that Ukraine may not be a full-fledged member for a decade or more?
Well, we're talking to them. We are doing all we can to convince those countries. There's no other way. And I think it's quite obvious that Ukraine in a position to be a European member or to start this way into the European membership. Again, embracing Ukraine is making European Union stronger and more stable. And I think we can see it from different perspectives, starting with general security and understanding that the Ukrainian army is an actual army in Europe right now, and coming up to the food security, understanding that Ukraine is a serious player on the global food security market, which will add an absolute consistency to European stability, to the European Union. From this perspective. And answering your question, what we are doing, we are actively communicating with them. I have been in charge to be a special envoy of the president to communicate and discuss this perspective, candidate perspective of Ukraine with some European countries. And in coming days, next week, I am planning to be in Germany to meet with political leadership of the country and discuss our general cooperation.
Okay, well, I know many of us in Poland wish you the absolute best of luck. We'll definitely be rooting for you. Mr. Minister, thank you very much for taking the time to sit down.
Thank you, Don. With your permission, I would like to express the best of gratitude and gratefulness to the Polish government, and which is more important, to the people of Poland that demonstrated an extraordinary support to the people of Ukraine. And as we say, you will know your friend when you're in grief. You will know your friend when you're in a bad situation. And now we understood the Poles are our best friends. And we feel ourselves more protected and more secure. And we will bring everything possible for Poles to feel the same.
Well, thank you, Minister. I know.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.